welcome back to the channel. We did first part of a series going through my collection here, seeing what groups and artists that I have a lot of, or an entire collection on CD of studio albums or live albums or whatever the case may come up. And I thought that went pretty well. It's fun to do, kind of dig through what I have, find out what some of this stuff is. Worked out really well with the first episode. We did an accompanying radio show on Radio Sunnyside to highlight and showcase some of the music from that artist. The first one, of course, was David Bowie. It was a lot of fun to check out those CDs that I have. It ended up being 24 individual CDs of David Bowie that I had, which is obviously not all of it, not all of his collection, but it did span quite a bit. And though I'd listened to those albums that I have, I hadn't really got to, dig into them like you do whenever you got a CD, and you can open it up and like check out all the pictures and, whatever they've written in there. So that was fun to do, and we're gonna keep the series going. Just off the top of my head, I put together a few ideas of what would be future episodes here, and I've been kind of tossing around which ones I'll do next. So one that pretty prevalent in my idea of doing this type of series, I think, is what we're going to do next. And there's a ton of information out here about this band, about the various players in the band, and I probably won't get into all of that because other folks have made videos that explain it way better than I ever could. Really done a little bit of research and just like know what I've put together in my head over the years about what it is. But when it comes down to it, it's just fun to have collected these albums and listen to the music, and I think that it'll make for a really nice radio show and a wide audience basically that would want to hear these types of songs. So yeah, we're gonna get into another episode here. This will be 2, as long as the editing is correct. This week's episode will be on Fugazi. Yeah, and we know that they span from the late 80s into right up the end of the 90s. I think the last album was released in 2000, that type of thing. And then there's been talk of it, that they never really disbanded, but they said that there hasn't been a reason for them to actually play live music again. I've read some interviews with Ian MacKaye about, he's gotten together with the guys and they've played, but, no plans to really play as Fugazi live, which is fine. One of those had to be there type of moments. And, we've collected the CDs. I do have a couple of LPs of re-released albums of Fugazi, so that type of thing lives on forever, and the music is basically timeless. So we're gonna jump in and we'll break down what CDs I've collected of Fugazi. All right, so pulled the Fugazi albums. I just kind of had them on the shelf in any random order, and I've mentioned it before, but I haven't been too picky about putting everything up on the shelf in chronological order or alphabetical or something like that. The albums are by artist in alphabetical order, so I can find them, really. But whenever it comes down to the artist, I'm pulling them out and using them for shows and playing them just around the house enough that I just slap them back on the shelf however they go, and that's fine with me. So these are really just pulled off the shelf in no particular order. Like I said, there's been a lot of other videos that other people have broken these down when they came out, and all the production value of everything and the meanings of their songs and all this different stuff. Interesting enough for the average person to check that out kind of on your own. Do yourself a favor and just go to the Wikipedia page or something like that. Watch the Instrument documentary. Pretty awesome about the history of what Fugazi was all about. But so whatever, in any case, we're just gonna go jump into these in kind of however order that I grabbed them here. So the first one that I got here on top is Repeater plus 3 songs. This has a ton of classic tunes onto it: Greed, Sea-Fisted Fine, Blueprint, Merchandise, Brendan Number 1, instrumental. It was always interesting in the history of Fugazi that they had all these songs and they would never put together a playlist or a set list whenever they would play live. And they would maybe decide on whatever the first song was going to be, and then just take cues from each other while they're playing and segue into other songs. You can find a whole list of their live shows and recordings basically from the early days on the Discord website. And it was always interesting too, they stood by the ethos of their CDs would only be like $5, $10 or something like that, and their shows would be $5. There's no merchandise that they would sell. So if you see someone wearing a Fugazi t-shirt, that did not come from Discord. So yeah, that's just kind of a fun fact. But this one, very simply, released 1990, copyright is Discord number 45. And you can kind of see on the album cover, nothing too fancy there, just repeater. It does have a nice booklet. And, I think things have been, released and re-released and those types of things. And I mentioned that as well, that I don't, I'm not looking for first pressings or anything like that. If I find them, then of course I'll get them. But, if they're re-releases and stuff like that, that's totally fine with me. This says on the back, made in England. It says this CD is $10 postpaid from Discord Records, Washington, D.C. You can kind of see the songs on there. This one's really good, beginning to end, as most of their albums are. Really good production by the guys to, they wrote these songs and, how they recorded them and when they recorded them and that type of thing. So just the cover, repeater plus 3 songs. It says this CD combines the album Repeater, which was Discord 44, and the EP 3 songs, Discord 43. And then, yeah, just like lots of cool stuff on the inside. And it's, the lyrics, just straight up black and white lyrics. All the songs. There are a couple of photos in here. There's a picture of Guy. A live shot. That's what it was all about. Agreed. That's an Ian, I believe, right? Or is it Joe? Hard to tell, they're so young. So like late 80s or whatever, probably, and then released in 1990. Yeah, and Ian with hair. And there's Joe. Cool. So not much to that one. Fugazi is Brendan Canty, Joe Lawley, Ian Mackay, and Guy Picciotto. So that's just all it says there. Repeater plus 3 songs. All right, this one I added just right on top next, and it does look like a remaster that was released in 2003. And like I mentioned, there's no problem with that, but this was actually Discord 36, so it was, I believe, the first album, and got some classics on here that people definitely know. But it's 13 songs, and you can see here this little sticker says that it was a remaster 2003, and of course, right, it's got Waiting Room. That's how you open their album, so people got sucked on that one real quick. Just great tunes beginning to end. Waiting Room, of course, Give Me the Cure, Suggestion, Glue Man, yeah, all of it. Promises. So the early Fugazi, and just the disc. It does say Discord 36. I think it was right around this time, like right before Fugazi formed, whenever they actually created their own record label. Ian, of course, a big part of that. He's not, I'm sure he doesn't do it by himself, but it was kind of funny because, they had a lot of big record labels and stuff coming after them to, try to sign the band and that type of thing, but they play by their own rules and created their own record label so that they could put out the music that they want. Probably still this way. I know at one point they had released all of Discord, any Discord release through their Bandcamp website was able to, free downloads of all their albums, all their different groups that they've done over the years. And, they want the music out there. And that's something that I've always believed in. No reason to keep all this stuff behind a paywall. I think in the world of streaming music, you can hear a lot of this stuff for free or, relatively inexpensive, that type of thing. But in the time of CDs, there was a lot of music that I was never turned on to in the 90s, just, for the sole purpose of, I didn't have the CD, or no one that I knew had the CD, or somebody I did know had a CD, and then I could only listen to it when I was with them. You know, we couldn't even burn CDs for each other at that point. And, you know, the gray area of how legal that type of thing was. And, you know, that's another reason why I collect all these now, because I could get them and kind of relive that a little bit. This one, you know, Fugazi, 13 songs. Still like really cool, like very simple, just red and black, and then just white, you know, and lyric sheet. Very basic, just lyric sheet. Yeah, there's just lyrics in here, and then a couple pictures in the end. It's Miles City, Montana on the top, and Heathrow Airport, UK on the bottom. There's the boys there, and early days. Yeah, songs 1 through 7 recorded at Inner Ear Studios, June 1988. And songs 8 through 13 are recorded and mixed at Southern Studios in January of 88. And then it's got a copyright, Discord 36, 1989. So yeah, and lots of classic tunes on there. I'm sure I'll pull 1 or 2 off of this album for sure for the radio show that will accompany this video. Right on to the next one here, just kind of next in line, and we'll find out more about it here together. But it's In on the Kill Taker. It says copyright 1993. It's kind of got all this notebook writing and stuff. This was on the back there, all somebody's handwriting, 1993, and they put it right on there. This should have only cost $8. It was made in France. I don't know. I've had a lot of these albums for a while. I've never really paid a ton for them as designed, really, but I do have them all now, so that's kind of cool. And very simple, you know, just a couple of colors. Looks like it might have been Discord number 70, and just the disc is just yellow and black. But a ton of good tunes on this one again, for sure. Public Witness Program, Smallpox Champion, Rend It, Great Cop, of course, Instrument, Sweet and Low. Yeah, 23 beats off, like they're all on there. Just like, I don't know, that's like a postcard or something that was sent out. It's real collage type. And the guys at that point, just like some crazy artwork. This probably reads something. A child is a growing stream in the river who is subject to his belief. Disability does have no private interpretation. Automobile driver who does not criticize his driving. Neighbors hate them. The best things in life is not made from human hands. Who can do anything against truth? Evil communications do corrupt good manners. A citizen who does not rebuke another despises him, and blessed are the poor. God's wisdom is in his creation. That's what that says. Put that together like that. That's just the lyric sheet. All the song, lyric sheet, lyric sheet, lyric sheet. And it says recorded at Inner Ear Studios. That's December 1992. And then just giving people credit here about pictures and stuff. 1993. It's definitely great album. There's I believe the 33 1/3 book series goes over the making of all of this, and what led up to the band's life to come up with this album. Very interesting read. If you're into the 33 1/3 book series, definitely check that one out. And it just so happened that I do have a copy of that 33 1/3 series. Joe Gross, In on the Kill Taker. Really small book here. These are always cool. It's only like 150 pages or something like that. And there's like a glossary, bibliography type thing. They make reference to this book, and they pull a lot of stuff out of this because they did a really good job of documenting the band's life and making of this album in the Instrument documentary, which you can find on YouTube or whatever. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. My bookmark was $1. So sort of in the chronological order here. Don't know off the top of my head the exact, but then just grabbing again. This is Red Medicine. This is back. This is 1995. This CD, $8 postpaid. I think at this point, Discord 90, I guess at that point. He really started to sing more songs and stuff, I guess. In the early days, they would write instrumental songs and then put lyrics to them. And Ian basically sang a lot of the early songs. And Guy just doing backing vocals and hype man type dancing around and stuff like that. And then as the the years came on and they started to collaborate more, and I think even at one point Joe was singing, which changed the dynamic a little bit, but allowed their discography to grow and like the number of songs that they could play live. It got to the point that they probably forgot how to play a bunch of their songs. That's just how it goes whenever you have over 100 songs, but this one starts off pretty strong with a Guy sung Do You Like Me. It's one of my favorites off this. Birthday Pony on here, Forensic Scene, Back to Base, Long Distance Runner version. Yeah, so 1995 it says on this one, and again, just very simple graphic, black, kind of just like pink lettering or whatever. I don't know what that's supposed to really signify, but that's kind of cool. It says recorded in a year, and that's January 1995. It says except version recorded at the Guilford House in April 1994, and incidental pieces recorded at practice, cover Jim Cohen, Fugazi, cover mechanics, some live sounds. And this one is a little bit different. It kind of opens like this, and it has like just this little sleeve with lyric sheet. Not much going on there, but just lyric sheet. And then this thing folds out. Picture of Guy. Oh, that's kind of gross. Bunch of gum. Yeah, so this is just some pictures. Don't know, kind of random, but very basic, and that's all that's necessary, really. Just thank yous and track listings and some lyric sheets. You're lucky if that's what you get. My copy is in good condition. I don't know if you can kind of see it in that angle there, that there's not a ton of, doesn't take up the entire disc. A disc plays from the inside out, and there's all this on the outside here that's nothing. That's all that was necessary. Kept the recording price down. This one pressed in England somewhere. Red Medicine. Sweet. All right, like I said, we're kind of out of order. This one ends up being Discord 60. I've probably misspoken this entire time, but it's Discord Records, of course. Number 60, 1991 release. So that makes it the third album. Steady Diet of Nothing. And as you can tell, it's just plain disc with some writing on it. Discord 60. Recorded Inner Ear Studio, January 1991. Picture of the guys on the back. Lots of great tunes on this. Long Division, of course. Exit Only. Nice new outfit. Just got like this concrete teepee thing going on in there. And just as the other ones have been. Just a lyric sheet with the songs. All right, kind of back on track here, and we're jumped ahead. This one says it's Discord 110 release on CD. It says $10 would have been at that point. Fugazi End Hits, and it's just like pictures with their faces scratched out, and then track listings up top there. They're all about like starting your album strong. Break, really good tune. All of them are awesome here, of course, but 5 corporations on here. Caustic, Acrostic, Closed Caption, Floating Boy, Pink Frosties on that one. Arpeggiator, there's another instrumental tune. Just very basic black disc, not much going on there. Just a little bit of art behind there. It says End Hits right here in the middle. Committed to Excellence, it says. And this one's gonna get a thick book on it. 1995, I believe. And so there's the cover again. That's the back of the cover, Committed to Excellence. And again, like just keeping it real. Just a lyric sheet. Lyric sheet. There's like a live picture, couple pictures in the middle, more lyrics, and then anyone who's ever played in a band will understand that rat's nest on stage. Yeah, and then just 97 it says. Recorded Inner Ear Studios in March and September of 1997. And then a couple of thank yous. Very simple, $10. Not sure what I paid. This looks like the original. This is like on the jewel case itself. This little barcode, and it says Dis 110 CD probably how they skew them out in their in-home warehouse. It says 1998 on the disc itself. It says 98. Recorded 97, released 98. All right, this next one, and I made reference to it a couple times so far, chatting about it, but this is, they call it instrument soundtrack. Picture the drums being played happening here. I think they thought it was a cool cover for the album. This was copyrighted in 1999. Yeah, it says this soundtrack is composed of music from the film video release Instrument, which was Discord number 80. And it was $10. And it's just kind of pictures of the guys on the cover, and the disc is just a plain red. Again, this, they call it the instrument soundtrack, which is like some demos of stuff on here. Arpeggiator demo, which was kind of cool. Turkish Disco is another instrumental I think is really cool. A Little Debbie, I'm So Tired is on here, which is Ian just playing piano and singing, and they show that in this documentary of like when they're kind of mixing that. Did have the rest of the band playing on that tune, so I don't know when the decision was made to just release it of just Ian playing piano and singing, but that's kind of sweet. And then there's, you know, just some demos of songs on here, and a cool one to have. And it's really just the song tracks on the inside of this, and then what they were here. So Brendan on drums, Guy guitar, Ian guitar, Joe bass. It's like Pink Frosty demo recorded at Broad Branch Road, Washington DC, in Guy's parents' basement, August 1996. 8-track reel-to-reel, engineered by the band and mixed by Guy. Stuff like that, that's just all on there. All photos are stills from the video release Instrument. So that's just the real cover that they used. Somewhat like a poster of like some still images, pictures. It's kind of sweet to have the still have the insert on this of the band. Like I've mentioned, really cool documentary if you're into music documentaries about the band, and like some insight, a couple little interviews, lots of music, lots of live things like that. So definitely worth checking out. Finally, I think this is the official last LP that they did, The Argument. It's got a copyright 2001 on it, and Discord number 130, and kind of cool classic cover. And they got The Argument, kind of following the theme, just a solid colored disc. This one kind of opens like this. Again, kind of a picture in here. Back ends up looking like that. And they've stayed true. But there's just like, you know, some thank yous on there, and then just this picture of some stuff, televisions and stuff. And then they stayed true kind of to what they've done on all these other albums, and it's just the lyric sheet, lyrics. But yeah, great tunes on this one, of course. Cash Out, you know, Start That, Full Disclosure, Epic Problem, Life and Limb, Strange Light, one of my favorites, Expectator, and then, you know, end the album off with Argument Proper. Really good release, definitely classic. I think it was came out to mixed reviews. I think maybe it still held out that Fugazi would be a hardcore band, but their sound had changed a little bit, you know, and they made that emo hardcore thing that Ian hated, being called emo. He wasn't sure what that was all about, and never really wanted to be defined by a label like that, but that's what writers will do, I guess. Make up something and put a label to it, and they didn't care, so they just kept running. But The Argument, great album. Okay, so we went through all the official LP releases of the Fugazi catalog. They did have a couple other things that came out that I got a hold of. This is it's an EP, Fugazi Furniture number 5 EP. I think that's the official cover of that. So, and this was released, I think 2002, something like that, early 2000s. But it says here, recorded in Inner Ear Studios, January and February 2001, mixed in 2001. So I assume, you know, shortly thereafter that came out. I kind of forget. Oh, so 2017 is the copyright on this one, at least. So Furniture number 5, Hello Morning, Discord 129 officially. And it's just a cardboard like case, very simple, you know, true to form, just the lyrics. All right, and then the last CD that I have was released in 2014 as Discord 181 on CD, and it's Fugazi First Demos, and it's just like this cardboard digipack type thing, and it's got a copyright 2014 on there. Change. It just kind of goes in like that. It doesn't close very well. Just wants to stay open all the time. And just a picture of the guys recording in the basement or practicing in the basement. And then, you know, the cover is all just sitting around the piano. And they did, you know, it's the exact same. They followed the pattern of lyric sheet, but it's like handwritten notes, and then I think a couple that are typed out. Kind of cool. Recorded January 1988. Yeah, then it was mastered in 2014 for release. This is like a postcard, just a postcard that came with this little tiny postcard, which is pretty funny. Postcard. You could actually send that out. That'd be cool if someone sent you that, but I keep it. It just goes right in there. It's getting all banged up. Actually closes a little better. The first demo, so it's sweet. There's like Waiting Room opens this, and that became like their smash like hit or whatever, the most radio friendly tune that they had probably. And you can hear them just like talking in the background, and that dramatic pause in Waiting Room that everybody knows was kind of done by accident, I think, and you can hear them laughing on this recording, and they decided to keep it in on the original release. So yeah, but like Merchandise, Furniture, Song Number 1, Bad Mouth, Turn Off Your Guns, and the Same in the Defense of Humans, Joe Number 1. So some cool tunes on here. It's interesting to hear those demo versions and, you know, how that all progressed from there onto the other albums. Yeah, and like I said, that was just had gone through all the official CDs that I have of Fugazi. As far as I can tell and I know, that's all of them. Full discography on CD. Pretty happy with that. I'm glad to have gotten those. As far as like full collections of artists go, I think that was one of the first ones that I did manage to get absolutely all of them, all of the LP releases. It's probably an odd single or re-release or those types of things out there that if I come across them, maybe I pick them up in the future, but you know, just to keep the collection going or whatever. But I got, you know, those ones, and I'm going to pull tunes from each one of those to do the radio show. At this point, I did find that it would be at least worthwhile to mention, I'm not a big vinyl collector. Just like this part of the wall here in vinyl would take up as much room as all of just these CDs on this section do. I did get a couple of Fugazi vinyl LPs, and they're, you know, basically remasters, represses of these things, but of the instrument soundtrack again. Thought that was cool, and it's just like, you know, it just opens like old school, and it's all those same pictures that were on the CD in that fold out. And not much else going on, just a black record and some of the same pictures and stuff that were in the CD, but this one, you know, it has just the names, same way that the booklet did in the CD, on all these pictures. But like I even mentioned when I was in the CD, you know, talking about the CD, lots of cool songs on here. So cool to have it on vinyl. You can just play it and walk away. The other one that I have is The Argument. I did get The Argument. Same type of thing. This is, you know, been repressed, of course. So I probably paid like way too much money for it. But there was like a small vinyl show somewhere, and I happened to be there, and this guy had these. So I decided to buy them. He might have had one or two other ones, but all the same. This big booklet thing, same as it is in the CD, but just in this larger format, and just a black vinyl. So, you know, for the sake of my vinyl collection, the guy had them, so I got them. I wasn't necessarily looking for anything, but thought they'd be a cool pickup, and we'll play vinyl every now and again. Mostly if I'm doing the radio, I stay away from vinyl unless there's something that I have that was only ever released on vinyl. Just easier for me, I guess, to do the CD. So that's that for this installment collection series there. Again, a lot of fun looking through these CDs and, you know, checking out what I have. And I've mentioned I'm doing a companion radio show for this video. And so make sure you're tuning in to radiosunnyside.org, or if you're here locally in Flagstaff, you can listen to 101.5 FM. It's Friday evening, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're Mountain Standard Time now. It is almost December 2023, so whatever time zone that is, wherever you're at, you can check that out. Do my best to also try to get some of my rebroadcasts up on my YouTube channel. So if you're, you know, checking this out on YouTube, you can see some of my rebroadcasts. Basically, like, you know, like I've mentioned before as well too, that, you know, I don't have all the facts. I don't know all the history of all these things, obviously, and just good music. I'm trying to bring it out to you folks, and just, you know, kind of sort through, you know, what I have up on the walls here, and just bring you into my world of collecting. Definitely, if you know something or I misspoke, I'm sure I did, kind of just firing from the hip here, make sure to let me know. Follow me on Instagram, GITCHUONE_radio. Give me some suggestions of some other ones, and maybe I have those collections or ones that I should build. But we'll be doing more videos because I definitely have a wide selection of, you know, different music. I have a lot of, you know, different artists, a lot of their catalogs, if not in all of their catalogs. So we'll continue with this series, whether people like it or not. But it's fun. I think it might get you to, you know, look into these bands a little bit more. Check out these documentaries. I'll throw out that info as I have it. And like I said, with the Fugazi, there's, you know, just watch instrument, and you know, that explains the whole thing well better than I can. I can tell you to watch it. That's, you know, my best suggestion there. Or, you know, lots of cool interviews with Ian that I've seen over the years. It's always interesting to see like what he said about those types of things. Even just the Wikipedia page has a lot of cool info if you're into music, band history and those types of things. I'm just showcasing you know, what I got and what the artwork and things look like, and then we'll showcase the music itself on the radio show. So hope you're tuning into that. Really means a lot if, you know, we're getting followers and stuff like this. I hope you enjoy it, and it's, you know, I'm trying to do this for you as well, you know, something for me to do and something for you to enjoy. So I guess we'll catch you on the airwaves.